What's up YouTube, Webbers5 here, coming at you today with an update to my Endymion deck profile. So guys, just giving you this quick update in regards to the tournament I just entered. So I did post the results in the last match, which I got 7 points, ended up tying third with my friend. Not amazing, but still pretty good considering that this was a new concept on the deck. So for those who are wondering what exactly the idea of the deck was because I know we were getting Ready Fusion in Dawn of Majesty, I realised that gave me an option of I could do something quite interesting with the deck in terms of Selene, because Selene actually can bring back a spellcaster. There are lots of really good spellcasters, but unfortunately some of the really good ones aren't in the level range for Magician's Souls. So I figured out a way of I found a way that uses a combination of Ready Fusion and another extra deck monsters so that I can manipulate Selene to be able to send whatever I want. However, when I actually tested it through in the tournament, the concept of it is good in here. The execution of it, really difficult. So I'm probably going to change the build around, but I thought you guys would like to see what exactly was in the deck when I was playing it. So without further ado, let's get into the profile. Okay guys, so starting with the extra deck so I can explain what exactly the purpose of the Ready Fusion is. So we've got one access code talker, actually just because access code talker is amazing, probably the best link for in the game right now. And I think it's just recently just been confirmed that it's going to be reprinted in the tin, so that's good news for everyone that doesn't have one. Next, one copy of Artemis, because with the addition of the Magician's Restage package, it's really easy to just link climb very easily off one material, which is really good. One Appaloosa for the negate, just because it's a negate option, which the deck likes. Crowley for link climbing purposes and combos with the Spellbook engine. One Daybreaker, brought it back just to have a backup link of a spellcaster, and he's probably the easiest one to use. And I don't feel like using another Crowley or upping the Spellbook engine a bit more. So, one IP just because disruption to go into a different link. One Nightmare Phoenix, back row snipe. One Yugioh, additional draw power or an attack buff if I need it. Three copies of Selene. She's essentially been the best card in the deck ever since she came out, giving us the more flexibility to do stuff with spellcasters, which is really great. And also, or in terms of a lot of people in the game, just very easy of going into access code talker as well. Last link that I'm playing is one Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. Just playing this because it's essentially a kaiju that I can use with Masquerena. So I can go Masquerena to link someone on my opponent's turn, use three of my monsters, including the Masquerena, and then one of my opponent's monsters as well. And then it also negates the effects of everything on the opponent's field. It doesn't come up too frequently, but I like having it as an option. So that's it for the link monsters. Then into fusion monsters, playing one Millenniumized Restrict for my instant fusion target, because it's just really good for stopping hand traps or a potential disruption that my opponent's going to do against me. And now for my Ready Fusion target, I'm playing Roaring Ocean Snake. Guys, there's no specific reason of why I picked Roaring Ocean Snake. It was literally the first level 6 vanilla fusion that I was able to find. I could literally play anything. I could literally choose to play whatever I want as this target, but that's just the first one that I was able to get. And the purpose of the level 6 is to go into the Beatrice. So the purpose of me playing Beatrice in my build is with Selene. Selene lets you res a spellcaster from your hand, summon a spellcaster from hand or graveyard. Beatrice lets me send any card from my deck to the grave. So it lets me go further from the Magician's Souls, in which I can send a specific level 6 or higher spellcaster to. Now I can send any spellcaster I want. Additionally, you can do it in a form of chain blocking of going if you already have a valid target in your graveyard for Selene, you can just go effective Selene, remove 3 to special 1, chain the effective Beatrice detached to mill 1. Now and so in that position, your opponent cannot. You can essentially now choose whatever you want. You now choose what you want to summon, and your opponent's not going to be able to stop you until after the chain's fully resolved. And usually and because of the target I'm playing for this, it kind of makes it a bit too late for them to do anything about it. Okay, so that's it for the extra deck, guys. Then moving into the main. So starting off with the main deck, the standard Endymion monsters. So playing 3 copies of Mighty Master, and for the moment I'm just playing 1 of each of the other ones. So I'm playing 1 Reflection, 1 Servant, and 1 Majesty. The race just as it is like now because I was trying to get the engine right for the Beatrice. But like I said, I'm probably going to be switching it around. So we'll see. Mythical Beast engine, quite small. So 1 Master Cerberus and 3 Jackal King. I upped him to 3 because of, like I said, with the Beatrice engine, so he's another level 6 I can easily go into. The downside I found of doing this was that it became a bit bricky, so I'm probably going to take 1 of them out. But like I said, I'm planning to change the engine. Sorry, I keep repeating myself, guys. Then last Pendulum, I'm playing 3 copies of Abductor, just because she searches the entire deck, which is really good. Well, not the entire deck, all the good Pendulums in the deck. Next, the non-Pendulum spellcasters, so playing 1 copy of Magician of Prophecy for the Spellbook engine. 3 Magician Souls, because he's broken in combination with Selene. There's no reason not to be playing him unless you can't afford him, which is understandable. And then my Magician Soul's targets, playing 1 medium of the Ice Barrier, so she's got the effect. So she limits your opponent to 1 spell or trap per turn, which in combination with the Magician's Restager, the Magician's Hands, basically means your opponent has 1 spell or trap that gets automatically negated, which is really good. However, I have found she is very good, but she's not good against every matchup. Like, I've noticed at my locals I'm seeing a lot more Tri-Brigade, which don't use a lot of back row, so might switch around for something. We'll see. And some of you guys might have noticed this popped up a few times in the matches during my tournament. Playing 1 Dark Magician Girl, just because she's an easy accessible level 6 that I can go for Beatrice, because she can be directly summoned off the Magician's Souls. So that's really good. Unfortunately, in your hand, she's kind of average unless you've got a way that you can Pendulum summon her. And then the last monster in the deck, which I didn't really get to use very much, but it's the main reason I'm playing the Beatrice engine. So guys, like I said, when I was thinking this through, I thought to myself, if I add the combination when I play Ready Fusion, I could throw in a level 6. That gives me the option of Beatrice. Beatrice would allow me to manipulate Selene, so I can use whatever I want. What is a really broken spellcaster to drop on your opponent? Jalgan the Spiritualist. This is the main purpose I came up with doing Beatrice. So Jalgan's effect is neither player can special summon. Against the meta, that's a pretty good, nasty thing to drop on your opponent. Naturally, the only issue with Jalgan is his stats are completely meh. So he's very easy to run over, but then you're forcing your opponent into their battle phase to have to get rid of the Jalgan. Jalgan's just one of those cards that is essentially an immediate threat. Your opponent sees it and they're like, okay, I have to get rid of this now. Unless, however, they're playing a deck like True Draco, which doesn't care about special summoning. But typically for most decks, Jalgan, just an instant threat. Which is why I came up with the idea of the Ready Fusion package. Unfortunately, as I was testing it through during the tournament, it didn't come up very consistently, so I'm probably going to take it out. Which is a shame. So that's it for the monsters. Moving on to the spells. So the Endymion related spells, playing 3 spell power mastery, and then 1 magical citadel as an additional top, and the 1 terraforming. Spellbook engine, playing just 2 secrets, 1 knowledge, and my personal choice of Spellbook of Wisdom. Wisdom's just a nice little additional option to give me an extra target in my deck if I want to resolve Crowley. It's also pretty good if I get hit with Dark Ruler no more, so I can keep at least 1 negate on the field, or I can use it to block an imperm, or what I frequently seem to notice I'm doing with it is I can activate Spellbook of Knowledge, chain Spellbook of Wisdom, make something unaffected, and then because cards in chain don't go to the grave until the chain is fully resolved, it means I can send the Spellbook of Wisdom that's now on the field to draw 2 cards without losing any resources. Next, playing 3 Magician's Restage and 1 Magician's Right Hand, and 1 Magician's Right Hand. So Restage lets you res a level 3 or lower spellcaster monster in your graveyard once, so I can use it to bring back Magician's Souls, I can use it to bring back Spellbook of Magician of Prophecy. Intriguingly, in this build I can also use it to bring back Jalgan. But probably the main use of it is probably the Magician's Souls, because you go, activate this, bring back the Souls, effective Souls, send it to draw 1, and then when Restage goes to the grave you get to search a Magician's spell or trap, which in this case is the right hand. I can also play it with the left hand, but left hand doesn't come up too frequently because it does traps. Next, my draw spells, playing 2 Pot of Desires and an Upstart Goblin. I could consider playing 3 Desires, but I don't feel it's completely necessary. And then Upstart, naturally, that's just an easy draw and an easy spell counter. And then last spells, 1 instant fusion. That's for the Millennium Eyes Restrict to block a hand trap, or in terms of my game that I played against Prank Kids, stop a Battle Butler from nuking my board. And then last spell in the deck, 3 ready fusion for the Beatrice combo. But as I found, it's not that great, so I'm probably going to take this out. And then moving into the side deck, a lot of this is very straightforward based around the meta that I found at my locals, with the exception. And most of it is pretty much general side deck stuff, so got 1 Pancratops for spot removal, 3 Denko because I did know a Sky Striker. I know a Sky Striker player at my locals, so that was just for them. This one's more of a personal choice because sometimes I get matchups where medium is really good, but for matchups where she's not very good, this is what I'd like to use instead. It's my Gravekeeper's package of Gravekeeper's Shaman, Gravekeeper's Commandant, and Necro Valley. So Shaman, Shaman is basically a soul drain. She prevents the activation of monster effects in the graveyard except for Gravekeepers, so she's absolutely insane against decks like Tri-Brigade, which is really huge at my locals right now. The Commandant is just a discard to Rotifor Necro Valley, and then Necro Valley prevents stuff from being banished or moved from the grave. And if you've got Shaman and Necro Valley together, then Shaman gets powered up, and Shaman gets the additional effect that when Necro Valley is on the field, your opponent can't activate a new field spell and they can't destroy your Necro Valley, which is really insane. And next in the side deck, 1 Feather Duster for back row removal. 3 Dark Ruler No More for board wiping purposes. Well, not so much board wiping, just negate my opponent's board if I'm against a control deck. Next, more back row hates of 3 Cosmic Cyclone. I typically choose Cyclone because it means I can just properly take the threat out of the game, and in some matchups it's like a lot of cards I know they have effects engraved, so Cyclone completely stops that. Though as of more recently I'm noticing with Tri-Brigade they don't seem to bother too much, they don't seem to care too much about that. The same can be said with decks like Virtual World, I think, as well. They use stuff engraved. One of my friends recommended I have a go at playing Night Beam, just because, again, just for things like Tri-Brigade, so to stop the revolt, because naturally Night Beam has the effect that it prevents the set card being activated. The issue with Night Beam is that it's a normal spell, so I can't do it on my opponent's turn, but at the same time it's removal that my opponent can't respond to with that back row, which is pretty good. And then last card in my side deck, 1 Red Reboot, just because why not. Okay guys, so that's the deck profile update from the tournament. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you liked it, naturally leave a comment down below of what you thought about it, or also you can leave a comment if you've got any recommendations of stuff I can try. Like I said, I am planning to edit the build again. I've got an idea in my head of what I want to do. It's actually going backtracking to an old idea I was using that was really effective, that's in one specific format. That kind of has a good advantage in this format as well, so I'm going to go back to trying that. Additionally guys, for other deck profiles, I've almost finished my new deck. I should be getting the last part of it this week, so hopefully I can profile it very soon. So look out for that. Also, if anyone wants to, you can have a guess in the description of what you think this new deck I'm playing is. Only hint I will give, it is not a spellcaster related deck for a change. So leave a comment down below what you think. Thanks so much for watching guys, and I will see you next time.